Greetings, everybody, from the Steel City. We are in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania for the USL Championship tonight, presented by Allegheny Health Network. It's a huge match between the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and the Las Vegas Lights, who have overcome their travel issues. The game was postponed from yesterday to today. The Lights are here, and they are ready to go. The Hounds coming into the night, Eastern Conference table. They're in 6th place, trying to track down the likes of Hartford. Loudoun, who's playing at the moment against Tampa Bay, and North Carolina for a home playoff game, and of course have to clinch the playoffs as well. We'll see if they can take a step closer to doing that in this game tonight, led by our Modelo player to watch, Augie Williams.
Augie Williams, we are fully aware of the prolific goal scorer he is and the game-changing behaviors he can display. Where he can continue to guide this team is getting off to fast starts offensively. 2 of his 7 goals this season are match-opening goals, and this is a team that's 10-3 when scoring first.
Speaking of the Las Vegas Lights, they come in pretty much a do-or-die situation. A win tonight, you can see a path for them to get to the playoffs. Anything else, they could be in big trouble.
It's beginning to feel like it's now or never for Las Vegas, and maximum points will only do. Some of the results last night put them right there in striking distance.
3 points essential for Devin Rensing and the Lights here at Highmark this evening. They've been here once before. They did lose, but they're hoping that Johnny Rodriguez can lead the line and lead them to success tonight.
If this group is able to stack results and make a run into the playoff spot, they'll be leaning on their top scorer to be that threat and relieve pressure in both boxes. He presents that ability to flip a match, but when you can score timely goals, it instantly injects that collective energy off the ball.
We're at that point in the USL Championship season. Vegas needs it to keep their playoff hopes legitimately afloat. Pittsburgh here at Highmark are so tough to beat. Can they pick up 3 valuable points tonight in the championship?
Ain't no better feeling than a cold one in my hand. That's why I'll be keeping Iron City in my plans. Oh, everywhere I roam, I'll be thinking about my home. Sitting pouring on the iron right before I go to rest. And when I'm laying in my bed, there's only one thing in my head. Just an ice cold can of Pittsburgh, PA's best.
Back to school means back to savings. At Best Window and Door Company, we're kicking off the season with smart choices that pay off fast. Save up to 50% on energy-efficient windows and doors, plus 0% financing for up to 84 months. That's right, up to 50% off with financing to keep your budget cool. Upgrade now before cold weather and high heating bills return. Make this school year smarter with savings that do their homework. Schedule now, offer ends soon. Call 1-800-292-5594. Visit mybestwindow.com.
Chevy makes America's most dependable trucks, like the rugged Colorado, the highly capable Silverado 1500, the powerful Silverado HD, and the uncompromising Silverado EV. In every Chevy truck, dependability comes standard.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Well-qualified buyers can get 2.9% financing for 72 months on Silverado 1500 models. Chevrolet, the best-selling brand in Pittsburgh.
Welcome back, everybody. Alongside the coach, Eric Dobransky, I'm Sean St. Jacques. Happy to have you with us tonight in Pittsburgh, presented by Allegheny Health Network. Massive game for both the Pittsburgh Riverhounds and particularly the Las Vegas Lights. Let's dive into the starting 11s. They're brought to you by IC Light. We begin with Bob Lilly and the Hounds.
I think overall, looking for chance creation from the collective, the combination of Robbie Mertz and Junior Etu in that left half space, their ability to unbalance an opponent, be unpredictable on the ball, very challenging to defend. And then that wide delivery from Luke Biasi along that right flank. I mean, he's clinical in those moments.
Pittsburgh looking for their 7th home win at Highmark to this point. They have lost the last 2 here at Highmark against Louisville and Charleston. For Devin Rensing and the late arriving Lights, here is their starting 11.
This is a team that has earned 3 clean sheets in their last 4 matches. They have embraced a disciplined defensive mentality, pressing and hunting that first and second phase of play. And this midfield of Ascona, Probo, and O'Driscoll will lead that charge. Then winning the wide area is going to be important, and getting in all 3 points. So watch the work from the wide pairings, Leal and Jones, and then Budati and Gannon on the opposite side.
And we slightly joked, but it is good that the Lights are here. They were able to get over some of those travel issues yesterday, and they are playing for their playoff lives tonight. Anything but a win, and they would be firmly on the outside looking in, going into the stretch run. We're already right in the middle of it in this Western Conference playoff chase. For Pittsburgh, they're closing in on a playoff spot. They haven't clinched yet. A win tonight would put them in a very good spot to move on and do that. Of course, they're also trying to track down Carolina, Loudoun, and Hartford, who are fighting as well for those 3rd and 4th seeds, which would mean a home playoff game in the first round of the Eastern Conference playoffs. Vegas are in their blues from head to toe. They'll get us started here at Highmark, going from right to left, and we are underway here in Pittsburgh. Again, it's Sean St. Jacques, Eric Dobransky, our entire crew. Happy to have you with us for Pittsburgh and Vegas here tonight. 4th all-time meeting between these 2 teams. The road team has never won in the prior 3 fixtures between these 2. Time to look at the injury report. It's brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, the official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. Overall, the Lights, for now, in decent shape as far as injuries are concerned. Most of the players that Devin Rensing wants out there are out there. And Pittsburgh they've been getting guys back as the season has moved along. As fit as they've been for most of the year, Bob Lilly, at least for the most part.
Yeah, exactly where you want to be come playoff time, getting some of these players back into the fold, building up some minutes, obviously within training as well. So getting to that full availability. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that this is the 200th appearance for Robbie Mertz tonight, and 100th appearance for Luke Biasi. So 2 players that I highlighted in the starting 11, and have been fixtures in the USL Championship, and you do that with high quality play and availability and the ability to influence games on a weekly basis.
One of the interesting factors, you just talked about some of those consistent cogs in the Bob Lilly setup. Griffin and Mertz and Biasi. Jacob Randolph is not one of those consistent cogs. He starts in goal for Pittsburgh tonight, and we will certainly be keeping an eye on his progress.
Yeah, and you can do so much in training, but until you're out there in that real match setup, the communication becomes real time at trying to organize and set up this team. Now, obviously, the structure defensively for Pittsburgh is very well known. I mean, they are tough to break down. They are difficult to unlock. And that's something that Jacob Randolph is going to want to continue tonight. I mentioned it a bit when we were talking about Augie Williams. This is a team that, heading towards the playoffs, offensively, can you start seeing that uptick at the beginning of matches? Talked to Bob Lilly a number of times throughout the year, and he's emphasized the desire to not have to chase games. I mean, they are winless when they concede first.
Of course, for anyone that's followed the league, Bob Lilly's teams, particularly at Highmark, are really tough, but they are winless in their last 3 here at Highmark. We talked about the losses to Louisville and Charleston. There was a draw here to Orange County in the middle of all that as well. So it's actually a rare dry spell of home points for Pittsburgh at Highmark. And of course, Vegas, who need the 3 points oh so badly, hope to take advantage of that. But of course, Bob Lilly's resume goes without saying. He's actually the, if not the most winning coach in the professional side of things. A America at the moment. And his team's on the front foot here. That pinball's around, and Hadzic, who is our head official, gives a goal kick to Vegas after that pinballed out of play.
And it's such a fascinating matchup as we see Devin Rensing, because you're playing a team now, since Devin Rensing has taken over defensively, this team is adjusted very well. And now the question becomes is how has it affected that offensive output as we see for Pittsburgh increase the offensive output. This is a team that has scored 25 goals this season, which is the tied for the fourth fewest. And then for Las Vegas, can they score that opener? Because Pittsburgh struggles to get themselves back into games when they concede first. But for Las Vegas, it's such a strange metric for them this season. Goals against, 42, tied for the fourth most in the USL Championship. But they also have 11 clean sheets, which is tied for the most clean sheets in the USL Championship. But they also have 19 goals scored, which is the fewest in the league. So trying to stretch that balance and make sure that you're effective in both boxes is something that was identified by Devin Rensing right away. And obviously, defensively, you want to make sure you tighten those areas up first.
And those were the keys to building a win, presented by 84 Lumber for both teams. And just to piggyback off that point, the real damning stat for Las Vegas is that goal differential. It's by far the worst in the league. It's at -23 coming into the night. That's really where you start to see some of those problems. But Devin Rensing has started to fix some of those problems down the stretch.
Yeah, earlier in the season and towards the middle, they were living in that feast or famine type of lifestyle where they were either keeping clean sheets or they were conceding multiple goals, and then they just couldn't have the scoring consistently that had them in position. Obviously, Johnny Rodriguez has been terrific. 8 goals out of the team's 19, and then Knight Pickering, who's not in the starting 11, he's available tonight, has 3 goals. So 11 goals from those 2 players alone.
Look at the recent stretch for Vegas as well. It's a bit interesting. The last 11 league games, they've won just 1 game, and they've been outscored 24-9 as Leal got in behind there for the Lights. Tried to pick out, looked like it was Coleman Gannon, who made a wonderful run in behind. Pittsburgh get the last-ditch tackle in there. And just to quickly finish the point, Devin Rensing came in at August 4th to try to turn things around. Yes, only the 1 win since then, but they've only been outscored 9-6, and 3 of those goals came in a tough loss at Louisville, where everyone seems to struggle. So he has turned it around.
You see this chance, and I think Leal and Gannon are going to be crucial to getting result tonight. I think their ability, their creativity, and a lot of those duels, those 1v1 actions can open up and free up some space for others, if not themselves. And I think another area that Devin Rensing is going to look at, obviously their main concern is what's right in front of them, this match right now. But this is a team that over the course of this season has only picked up 7 points on the road.
Mertz put in a good ball there, headed away by Gartig. Leal looks to lead the Lights up the other end. Gannon clipping it over the top for Rodriguez, when Randolph did not get there in time, but the whistle goes. Might have been a foul on a Rodriguez push-off. Pittsburgh ends up getting away with it.
You can see that timing, the ability to stretch the field, and the attention that Johnny Rodriguez occupies. I mean, even when you stretch that field, you're taking 2 defenders farther down, and you're opening up some space for Azcona. You're opening up space for Probo, O'Driscoll. Those players that can get on the ball, faced up, going at goal, and then allow them to play make. But for Las Vegas, those road woes, I mean, their last win on the road was June 21st at Indy. And their last 4 matches present 3 road games away from Cashman Field, obviously including this match. That is a stretch right there.
Right, Coach, that's their only road win in the league this season. I think they picked up 1 at Orange County in the Jaeger Cup. That was back when Antonio Nocerino was still in charge. But in the league, it has really been rough for them away from home. It's got to change tonight if the Lights are going to legitimately stay in the pack for a spot in the playoffs. It's a corner, meanwhile, for Pittsburgh. Robbie Mertz, Pittsburgh native, is going to take it. And it's a decent delivery, but nobody there for Pittsburgh to really attack it. And the Lights nudge it out for a Hounds throw just to the right of Devin Rensing on this near side, formerly of the Charleston Battery, and the now defunct Memphis 901, working on Ben Pierman's staff. Getting his tryout here, or not really a tryout, I should say, getting his hand here, being a head coach. And again, the early returns are very positive, particularly from the defensive side of things, which was Vegas's Achilles heel for so long this season. In some ways, it's kind of become what they've been hanging their hat on over these last 6 or 7 games to keep them in the fight for the playoffs. This is looped over the top. Gartig is able to outmuscle Augie Williams on that occasion. Danny Griffin recycles it for Suber. And Etu will simmer it down just a touch. Switch of play onto this near side for Luke Biasi. For Griffin. Sample keeps it going for Mertz. Etu on the overlap, and Arozarena, who's had a fabulous season in goal for the Lights, he's able to cut it out.
And that's the combination that is so difficult for opponents to deal with. So Danny Griffin playing this ball obviously helped along there. But Robbie Mertz's ability to turn face at a rapid rate, and then Junior Etu's entrance into that final third, into that half space. They work so well together, complement each other.
Again, near side, Biasi just tiptoeing this near sideline. Mertz, Augie Williams into the middle, and Gartig with an acrobatic clearance. Samples header, Mertz, whoa, on the volley, blocked away. Younes Boudadi getting his body in front of it. Body's lying down inside the penalty area as Vegas survives that Pittsburgh attack.
And you could see as the play was developing, Devin Rensing's frustration with his team's inability to close down that channel, as we see the coming together there. Gartig, Charles All, and you see Arozarena trying to make a play there on the ball as well. Looked like Gartig was up. Now it's Charles All that's getting looked at.
Amelia. Let's pump up the volume and scan the QR code on the scoreboard now and
this
pick a
might
Latin
be a
anthem
possible head injury here as well, so there's definitely
yours.
need to be time to look over this. Luckily, All is back up. As we've come to expect around these parts, incredible support for the Hounds. There's a great Bob Lilly banner there, of course. My goodness, what a job he's done with the Hounds over the years. And of course, the good news is that All appears to be okay after all of that.
Charles All is having quite a significant first year as a pro. Coming to this Pittsburgh organization. Provided a lot of different energy, a lot of variety. It's been really effective. Scored the opening goal in their last match in the 3rd minute.
It'll be a Vegas free kick. More like a drop ball, really, from the restart for Arozarena, who has set the club record for clean sheets this season. He has 10 of Vegas's 11. He sends the ball upfield. It falls for Biasi. Trying to cushion it down this near side. This is Azcona. Didn't get too much time on it. And it's out for a throw-in on the near side. Stay proud and sporty with Riverhounds gear, whether you're hitting the game or going out. Show your team spirit with exclusive merchandise. Find all your favorites at the merch booth or shop online, riverhounds.com, to get your merch today. Both teams have had a couple of chances in these early, nearly 15 minutes here at Highmark. Again, a game that both teams need oh so badly, particularly the Lights, who kind of fall out of the picture if they don't leave Highmark with a victory tonight.
And it's going to continue to be so important for both these teams to manage and navigate the ebbs and flows that this match present, because to the point you were just making, both fighting in different areas of the standings within their respective conferences. So this match is going to present itself like a playoff match. I mean, you are going to throw everything you have into getting all 3 points. So whether you go up a goal, down a goal, you are going to continue trying to stack moments and build momentum.
The initial ball in by Griffin was slightly off the mark. It's Griffin again, leading Pittsburgh forward. Etu on the far side. Sees his cross ricochet out for a Hounds corner.
Hounds fans, who wants another corner kick?
It just goes back to the decisions that opponents have to make when you're dealing with Robbie Mertz, Junior Etu in that wide space. You sit back and you absorb the service. You got to be prepared to deal with that cross. But then you do invite some pressure and numbers in and around a Rosarena. You play that fine margin about making a play, but also being locked in to what your role is on that service.
That's what the standings look like at the moment. Louisville closing in on the Players' Shield. They've still only suffered 1 defeat this season. Pittsburgh was there in 6th place. That's the bottom of the table. Huge win, by the way, for Indy yesterday over 1st place Tulsa out of the West. They put themselves above Rhode Island and in that final playoff spot as it stands. Although I must say one issue here for Vegas is that Coleman Gannon on your screen there is in some discomfort. And Gennaro Nigro, he's getting prepared here to come on for Devin Rensing's side. He's actually 66 minutes away, Gennaro Nigro, becoming the all-time minutes played leader in Las Vegas's history. He would be on track to do that if he plays the rest of the way, and unfortunately, Coleman Gannon cannot play the rest of the way tonight.
Disappointing to see that Coleman Gannon's unable to continue.
Mertz from the corner. Ooh, Rosarena did not commit, but one of his defenders had it covered. Pittsburgh will get a second try at the corner from the near side.
Substitution for Las Vegas coming out, number 8, Coleman.
You just hope that,
in his place is number 33.
I know it's early, but you hope that it's precautionary and it's something that does not see Coleman Gannon miss significant amount of time.
Confirmation of the change there. Nigro is in, and Gannon makes way here in the 18th minute, just before another Pittsburgh corner. These are brought to you by Cohen Supermarkets. The Mertz delivery is to the back stick. It came down for a chance, but Edison Azcona is able to clear it. Etu tracks it down for Pittsburgh, but sends it out for a Lights throw-in on the far side.
You know, when we took a look at the East standings, 3 points does 2 things for Pittsburgh tonight. It continues to apply a lot of pressure, quality pressure on North Carolina, Loudoun United, and Hartford. Obviously Hartford with that big win last night at Colorado Springs Switchbacks, 2-0 on the road. But it also, it provides you the slightest of separation and the slightest of cushions between Detroit City, Indy 11, Rhode Island, because they are right there chasing you. You want to make sure that you're giving yourself any sort of breathing room.
Loudoun and Tampa Bay are playing right now as we speak. They're in the 56th minute in Leesburg, Virginia. It is a 0-0 scoreline, so we will keep you updated on that. By the way, another game where both teams really need it, particularly the Rowdies, of course, who could fall out of the Eastern Conference playoff picture if they don't leave Virginia with all 3 points tonight.
Yeah, you make a great point. Obviously, they don't sit at the bottom of the East as Vegas do in the West, but 3 points is a must for the Tampa Bay Rowdies. But with Las Vegas' point accumulation, I mean, it just shows you how wild the West is. I mean, my goodness, how tight it is. You can see yourself in a top 4 position today, and over the course of a few weeks, you can see yourself battling to just stay in it.
One thing we talked about before we came on the air, you mentioned it, Colorado Springs lost. Oakland threw away a 3-goal lead to Phoenix last night as well. A lot of teams around Vegas didn't really get the job done. Orange County dropped points late to Charleston. The only team that really took advantage of their moment last night was Monterey Bay beating Sacramento. That was a huge win to keep the Union, for now at least, afloat. They could still be in dire straits potentially. We'll see, right?
Yeah.
But
they're just running out of games.
Yeah,
that's really for Monterey Bay and Jordan Stewart's side. It's just, you've now played 27, you got 3 left. What does the rest of the table do?
From a Vegas perspective, right, add all that up, if you win tonight, you still play Colorado Springs coming up, there is a path for Devin Rensing's side to get right up towards that playoff line, but it really does come down to whether or not they pick up the points tonight. If they don't, it's quite the climb the rest of the way. Biasi tried to stand that up for Williams. Great hustle by Etu, and he wins Pittsburgh a throw-in.
Sorry, it's always so interesting because we talk about what Las Vegas has to do the rest of the way.
Yeah.
And we also talk about their road struggles. But a lot of that does not even come close to mattering right now because they know that what they have to do. They know the results that they have to get. And whether they're on the road or at home.
Oh, what a strike that was. Beto Idrach let that one fly, but it flies over the target.
Somebody that's going to see heavy involvement when you have some of these sideline restarts deep in the opponent's area. He's able to step into this one. Unfortunately, just always rising, but still something that Las Vegas has to be aware of, his ability to strike from distance. But just to finish my point, when you get to this area of the season, it's tough to disregard some of the themes and trends that you've seen throughout a team's resume because the standings tell you what those trends have been. I mean, you can't escape. You can't say, oh, well, we missed out on it. You are where you are because you either picked up points or you didn't. But when you hit this tail end of the season, you play with that desperation. You play with that bit more openness in terms of the brave plays going forward. Obviously, you're selling out defensively, doing some of these big moments. So I wouldn't put it past Las Vegas to be able to rattle off some results on the road.
Add everything up that we just said, the bottom line is, if you don't tune in to the USL Championship for the last month of the season, you're crazy.
Yep.
Cannot wait to see how all these storylines unfold. That's going to be a Lights throw on the far side. That ball played in behind, just out of the reach of Etu.
I mean, Las Vegas Lights' very next match is on the road at Rhode Island, who they are going to be battling and scrapping for their playoff lives.
No doubt. That was another odd game in this week of games. Rhode Island were leading late at El Paso, for those that missed it. Just a wild moment with Holstead's miscued clearance, and all of a sudden, El Paso get a point and Rhode Island drop 2 valuable points, which of course opened the door for Indy to take their spot in 8th place last night. Switched over to Nate Jones on this near side for the Lights. He backtracks to Gartig and Anthony Herbert. Defensive duties, those 2 center backs for Las Vegas. Of course, Anthony Herbert came over from New Mexico earlier this season. It wasn't a trade, but it was part of a sort of swap, if you will, unofficially. That saw Valentin Noel leave the Lights and go with New Mexico and his former and now current, again, head coach, Dennis Sanchez. Of course, there is a bit of a delay with that New Mexico-Lexington game. We should mention that they will be kicking off a little bit later tonight over on CBS Sports Network. As Kona needs a moment here, the Dominican Republic international.
Yeah, this would be difficult for Devin Rensing and his side if you have to bring off Coleman Gannon first and then see Edison Azcona down. So you already have what's at stake in this match, and mentioned the availability heading into the playoff time is so important. Now having to make changes, see the frustration from Azcona and discomfort.
Our loaded pierogi nachos will make Yen's mouth water. Make sure to get your hands on these delicious
2 tough blows for Devin Rensing and the Lights here inside of 26 minutes. Potentially, oh, you feel for Edison Azcona, who's clearly beside himself here over the potential of having to leave the match. Azcona is back up onto his feet. I believe this is the moment where Azcona potentially got hurt. Got tangled up a bit there with Beto Etrach, and then felt it looked like a little bit later on in the sequence. And as we mentioned, it could be another big decision for Devin Rensing, and it does appear off camera that he is getting one of his subs ready, another one of the new acquisitions from New Mexico earlier in this season, Mackenzie Gaines. He's getting prepared to come on here. That is a double injury blow for the Lights. That may be the worst possible time. Well, spare a thought for Edison Azcona. We really hope that it is not too serious. Don't wish that on anybody.
No, and can't imagine the disappointment.
Meanwhile, Etu, oh, he goes down in the area. Oh, and the referee has pointed for a penalty here. Etu brought down on the edge of the 6-yard box. Younes Boudadi now is down for Las Vegas at the end of the sequence. And Pittsburgh, right off the restart, have a penalty. And we should mention that the Lights were down to 10 for that sequence. They had not made the change yet.
And that slipped ball in from Robbie Mertz. They have been a handful this entire first half so far. And to be fair, all season, I mean, they just present so many different challenges and so many different looks to teams.
There's the grimace from Boudadi, who is still down, by the way, at the end of the play. He's holding his arm in big-time discomfort here after the challenge. And when it rains and pours for Las Vegas, 2 injury substitutions already, another player injured, and Pittsburgh preparing a penalty.
From bad to worse for Las Vegas Lights and Devin Rensing. I mean, they have been forced into some changes already. To the point you just made a few moments ago, obviously that spell of play that led up to the penalty here, you're playing with 10. Now, waiting to see what's to come from this injury as well. And are you going to have to make a change?
Budati is still being looked after. By the way, Vegas have still not made the change yet. Gaines is ready to come on, but the referee is, of course, not welcomed him in yet because they're still attending to Budati inside the area. There's Gaines getting ready as Kona came off the field for that sequence. So Vegas conceded the penalty down to 10. And now Budati is also in discomfort holding that left arm. And you wonder if Devin Rensing may have to make another change here. We'll come back to that. Meanwhile, Augie Williams, one of the best scorers of his generation in the USL Championship, steps up to take a huge penalty, not just for Pittsburgh, but potentially in Vegas's season as well. 7 league goals in this campaign for Augie Williams. He goes head-to-head with Arozarena and gives Pittsburgh the lead. Never any doubt from the penalty spot. Augie Williams puts Pittsburgh in front and adds insult to injury for Las Vegas.
And this is a penalty situation where decisiveness wins. Obviously, decisiveness in the play that earns the penalty, the overlapping run, the slipped ball in, the commitment to take that touch towards goal. But then the decisiveness on this strike from Augie Williams. You pick your spot, you hit your spot, because Arozarena guessed the right way, went the right way, got a touch on it. But when you strike it correctly and in the area that you want to hit, you're going to score more often than not.
It's a Cohen Supermarkets goal. It's Augie Williams' 8th of the season. Arozarena did get a slight touch to it, but could not keep it out. And Augie Williams, with his 8th goal of the season, gives Pittsburgh a 1-0 lead in this pivotal game. Herbert will touch that out of harm's way. Gaines is on, by the way, so that change has now officially been made as Kona is out, Gaines is in. And for the moment, Younes Budati's trying to give it a go for the lights on this far side. Etu. It's played square for Griffin. Handball appeals, referee lets it play on, miscued touch by Mertz. Allows Las Vegas to clear their lines. As far as Suber, then Mertz heads it down and then is clipped into the air by Vactor. And Griffin lets it go out for a Hounds throw. Mertz, who it nearly fell for Griffin, and eventually it's cleared. Giorgio Probo. Edrach, Sample. Let's close the door there. They will clear it well over the halfway line, trying to pick out Johnny Rodriguez, but Suber hasn't missed a league minute this season for the Hounds in the regular season. He's able to sweep that up nicely from a defensive standpoint.
And what Bob Lilly and his group are gonna enjoy right now is not only the 1-0 lead, but the fact that they have the chance creation that they've been looking for, but they've also accompanied that with protecting their goal very well. I mean, Jacob Randolph has not had to make any sort of big save. He's been involved in this match. As we've seen Johnny Rodriguez try to stretch this back line, work in between the center backs, but they're doing a good job of complementing both halves of the field.
We should mention as well that there is a goal in the other game. The Rowdies have taken the lead over Loudoun 71st minute in Leesburg. That's great news for Pittsburgh at the moment. This is Biasi, meanwhile. His cross is blocked initially on this near side. And All tries to pick up the pieces. Clever from Sample in a tight space. Vactor tries to slither it through the layoff by Griffin. It's at 2, it's saved. Follow-up is cleared off the line by Gartig. And it is out for another Pittsburgh corner.
2 quality defensive plays. Obviously the impact of Junior Etu just continues to be highlighted in this match. His entrance into the box, but the save by Arozarena, and then Gartig never stopped moving his feet. He always continued to find that end line and work behind Arozarena to make that block. Now having to deal with this defensive corner.
Mertz whips it in, too close to Arozarena. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From Academy to the big league, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select product specials and more. Select is, of course, the player's choice. Driscoll handling the Griffin pressure, does well. Gives the Lights a throw in deep in their own half. Briefly mentioned it earlier, the last time these two teams met was well over a year ago. June 29th, 2024 was in Vegas. The Lights won 2-0, a brace from Corey Bennett, who of course is now with Sac Republic. 3 prior meetings, the home team has won every single time that Pittsburgh and Las Vegas have met. This is only the 2nd time they've met at Highmark. Last time they met here was in 2023. Pittsburgh won by 4-1. Edrach sliding that through. Oh, was he tripped up there in the penalty area? Referee waves that away. And Arozarena clears it away. Super does well to outmuscle Rodriguez. Oh, and then Super goes down. Rodriguez does get on the ball here for Las Vegas. Rodriguez for goal, but Randolph makes the save, as that ended up being a bit tamer of a shot than it looked when it was released.
See this play in the box, and it leads to the Johnny Rodriguez opportunity down the field, his ability to go 1v1, and unfortunately just does not have a lot of teammates around him to play with, to link up with. Obviously Liao was in the area, but really hadn't had any separation from his defender, so they're left with only the one choice to take from that space. And that's where for Las Vegas, I mean, my goodness, this first 38 minutes has been, it feels very hectic in terms of the injuries, obviously the conceding of the penalty, but it's only 1-0. So can you create some chances here? Have not, that shot from Johnny Rodriguez was the first shot of the match for Las Vegas Lights thus far. So can you keep stacking upon that? Can you start to take this into the break? Obviously try to find the equalizer, but if you can't, keep this at 1-0, build some momentum, change that narrative going into the 15-minute break, and then see if you could throw everything you can at Pittsburgh.
Before that Rodriguez shot, the Lights were at a 0 expected goals. It's now at 0.03.
Yeah, it's lifted just a bit.
Off the goose egg.
Yeah, I mean, final third entries heavily in favor of Pittsburgh Riverhounds, and they have the 6 shots. I will mention that 4 of the 6 shots have been inside of the box for Pittsburgh Riverhounds. It doesn't mean they've been on frame, but it just shows how many times that they're getting into the final third, but they're also accessing inside the 18-yard box.
Griffin. Marauding to the edge of the area. Didn't really pick out the right pass. Vegas had more than enough back there to clear it. And Vactor will recycle it for the Hounds. Back to Subaru, appears to be okay after that stumble at the back. It's cleared upfield by Jacob Randolph. And Gartig was wrestling there with Williams. Williams stays down. Gartig has been summoned by the referee here, who tells him to calm down.
It looks like both players have a handful of each other's jersey.
Oh, Riverhounds fans, join us at the next home game. It's Saturday, October 11th. Indy 11 are in town. Enjoy post-game fireworks show. Get your tickets today. Be as cool as that guy. Go to riverhounds.com right now. 5 minutes plus stoppage time left in the first half here at Highmark. It will be Mertz to deliver from the free kick, which did go Pittsburgh's way. Moved in towards the far side of the 6, and Nigro takes no chances, clears it out, and it will be a Cohen Supermarkets corner that Mertz will trot over to take.
And we continue to see variety in some of the runs on these attacking corners from Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They've had some where they've been spread out and occupying different areas, but they've also had some where they've started in a congested space and separated and tried to bump some defensive runners.
The Mertz delivery is headed away by Rodriguez. O'Driscoll helps it along. All keeps it alive for Williams, who was closed down on by Nigro. And this could fall kindly here for the Lights. Can they counterattack here? The answer is no. Great hustle by Williams and company. They shut that down, and the Lights are forced to recycle it back to Herbert.
Yeah, that is fantastic from Augie Williams. That down press, ability to get back behind the ball, slow down Las Vegas.
The ball is looped over the top. Nigro was the target, but it's cleared away by Biasi. And then all with a little nudge in the back. It's going to be a Las Vegas free kick.
We are going to be having a taco eating contest this evening.
Nigro up ahead.
If you wish to participate,
Hounds have it covered. They slam the door shut.
To sign up. Again, those that want to participate in the taco eating contest, head down to the West Gate.
Edrach looking for Williams. Herbert able to do enough. Then all tried to follow up, but Jones gets around him. And then a little flick there from Leal allows Edrach to reset for the Hounds. And he just about slides it through for Griffin. Biasi to the byline. And it is last off of Biasi. That's going to be a goal kick. Well done defensively by Nate Jones. Well, soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek. Your ticket to great seats. Here comes Pittsburgh again with Griffin. Charles All with a good delivery. And Pittsburgh, we're asking the questions about a push in the back there. Maybe another possible penalty. This time Mertz and company do not get the call.
And I know they don't get the call here, but flooding the box with good numbers in good areas are putting Las Vegas Lights into some tough predicaments. I mean, they are making some challenging decisions. Obviously have already earned a penalty here in this match, but the services and then the overload on that left side have been a lot to handle for the Las Vegas Lights. And now for Pittsburgh, it's about finding that second goal. That's going to be the balance that they're going to push each other to find. Obviously, defensively, they are limiting what Las Vegas Lights are able to create. But this game is going to continue to be in that balance and in those fine margins. There's going to be a lot of pressure to see this game out if it stays at 1-0. I mean, do you see a Knight Pickering come on from Las Vegas Lights? He has 3 goals on the season. Obviously, Johnny Rodriguez, you always have to account for him. We saw it early, Leal on the ball, but we have not seen a lot more of him as this half is worn on.
To your point, Coach, you give Pittsburgh a 1-0 lead, 9 times out of 10 they'll close you out. Give them a 2-0 lead, then you might be in dire straits. One of these teams, particularly at Highmark, very good at managing particularly those late second half moments. And we're not quite done with the first half. 7 added minutes of stoppage time at the end of the half. Biasi tried to find Griffin. Mertz lost his footing. Oh, and then commits a foul on the back end there. Right as Mackenzie Gaines and company were trying to break out of it for the Lights in transition.
Coming together, Robbie Mertz and Mackenzie Gaines. Mackenzie Gaines, another player that is fully capable of impacting and influencing this team in the attacking half. I also think that an area of focus for Devin Rensing and his team is going to be how do you start translating some of that defensive posture into offensive output, because they are asked to defend a lot right now, but now can you find some of those outlets that allow you to build, allow you to create some structure in the way that you can present scoring opportunities to the Pittsburgh Riverhounds? I mean, can you get collective numbers going forward? I mean, this is probably the highest that we've seen Nate Jones in this first half. Can you continue to build on sequences like this?
This is Griffin. Still only missed just 2 league games since 2020. He became a pro. Talk about being Mr. Reliable for a team, just never misses minutes, particularly in the league. Actually, coming into the night, Eric Dick and Sean Zuber were the only players that had played every single minute in the league for Pittsburgh. That obviously ends for Eric Dick, who is on the bench tonight but does not get the start. Sean Zuber's run of that continues. This is Mertz for Pittsburgh, and did not pick out the right pass, not on the same page with Etu.
A little crossed up with what was going to be presented to them defensively. Defender dropped off, and then that ball to feet was probably the more appropriate ball to play, but that rare miscue between those two players, I mean, they have been spot on tonight. Besides that play,
the battle between Gartig and Williams continues. Gartig wins that battle. The Rodriguez hold-up play, but then he gives it away to Etu, who has real estate out in front of him. Mertz off to his left. Mertz is played in. Mertz tries to turn into space. He lays it off for Griffin. Vactor. Mertz. Vactor will clip it into the middle, or Gartic heads it away. Sample tried to head it down for all. Rodriguez able to ease Sample off of it, and Nigro tries to poke that all the way through, but Suber sweeps it up, and I think Gaines may have been in an offside position. That is the case, and Pittsburgh will get a free kick.
And that run of play and that spell of possession from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds showcased by the interchangeability offensively of this group. I mean, Junior Etu goes central, Robbie Mertz finds the wide space, and even before that, you see the work that Bradley Sample and Charles All are doing beneath Augie Williams. When you have a player of Augie Williams' stature in terms of the physicality that he plays with and the willingness to get into some of those.
Mertz, oh, what a turn. The strike not as accurate.
He just has a nose for goal. He sees where he wants to go and how he wants to get there. A clever move. That gets himself centrally, and unfortunately unable to follow that up with a shot on target. Pittsburgh has to be happy with his involvement on the night. Very effective, very efficient.
At least when I was growing up, they used to call that the Maradona turn. I'm not sure if that's still the case, but it's a lovely little move by Mertz to get into space for the shot. It's played further back by Edrach. Now Vactor assesses the scene, fits it through for Etu. You can see what Etu was trying to do there, but O'Driscoll steps in front. And then it's a bit of a clumsy challenge by Augie Williams on Budati. Time for one last foray forward here for the Lights at the end of the half. Probo chested down by Suber. Sample up ahead. Herbert steps in, pokes it towards the edge of the area. Again, Vactor is there. And that ends the half here at Highmark. Certainly chances for both teams at times, but Pittsburgh certainly owned the half overall. The penalty conversion from Augie Williams has Bob Lilly's side in front in this all-important game.
And this game does not always give you what you feel like you deserve. You have to take that. And for Bob Lilly's side, you're controlling the momentum, you're controlling the possession, you're controlling the chance creation. Now go score that second goal and put this game a bit farther out of reach for Las Vegas Lights. And for Las Vegas Lights, you have actually done a pretty good job of limiting some loud scoring opportunities other than the penalty, but now build on that and find that outlet ball that allows you to create some scoring chances for themselves and pull this game level.
The plot thickens here at Highmark, still just the 1-0 scoreline with Pittsburgh out in front in a game the Lights really need to win to keep their playoff hopes very, very much alive. We'll have the second half coming up in just a few moments. We'll take a break here, and of course we'll look around the rest of the USL Championship when we come back.
The build. What is it that drives us to follow our dreams? To build them from scratch, from the heart. For us, it's the same ideals of hard work, craftsmanship, and unity that define our great nation. It begins with trusting in yourself, and having a team behind you that believes any dream is possible, and that every project is a vision of what can be, of who you are, and the future that you continue to build. From our family to yours, 84 Lumber, where quality and pride come together, one dream at a time.
At AHN, good heart care starts before you're just not feeling right. Before you say, it'll go away on its own. Before it doesn't. Because before an emergency, there's time to stop heart problems with a simple preventative heart check. At AHN, we see you.
Listen up, football fans. You won't want to miss this.
Right now, new Bet365 customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you can turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, spread, totals, player props.
$200 in bonus bets when new customers bet $5. I know where I'm going to bet from now on.
Download the app today and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Welcome back, everybody. At the half between Pittsburgh and Las Vegas, we'll have the big second 45 minutes coming up in just a few moments. But first, let's toss it over to the Pittsburgh player feature.
I'm Ben Martino and play for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. I did only the goalkeeper academy for a year in 2014. And then I officially joined the actual academy in 2015. At that age, you know, it was more about just falling in love with soccer. And a couple years of that transitioned into, you know, I was starting to become a lot better goalkeeper.
Benny was very consistent. Things that he needed to improve on, he would stay, do the extra work, but he was always mentally and physically prepared for anything that was kind of thrown in his direction.
You know, he came through our system, and that's what we want to continue to have. It just shows that we're doing the right things in our academy if all of a sudden now we have these kids training with the first team and then eventually signing with the first team. It just means that we're putting the work in at the lower levels. It gives the younger goalkeepers that are in our academy something to go, okay, they are looking in our academy. It's not like they're always going outside of the academy.
Maybe halfway, you know, towards the end of my time at the academy, I was being recruited by a lot of schools, and obviously that was a really big thing that RDA helped me with, was, you know, facilitating those connections with those schools, and they help you, you know, contact schools, write emails to schools, you know, help you get into ID camps. You know, they help me be very proactive with the whole college process, especially like even from the start of my freshman year.
You know, there's no magic formula for the pros. They do the same thing that the academy goalkeepers do. They just do it at a higher tempo and a more consistent tempo. So, you know, Benny is great with taking Ryan under his wing, putting his arm around him, talking to him about little things. You know, whether it's in the middle of a drill or whether it's just when they're having water, right? So it's one thing when I'm talking to Ryan or Dylan, but it's a whole nother thing also when the pros are taking that time. You know, makes Ryan feel even more invested by it, you know, into the system. And so if we can all just help each other out, then, you know, it's going to make for a great environment from top to bottom in the whole goalkeeping department.
If you're in the right environment, and you're willing to give it your all and give it your best day in and day out, your dreams and your goals, anything is possible. And Benny, you know, he sets that. He proves that and validates that anything is possible as long as you're willing to put that work in.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. This is an exciting day for the South Shore. Please welcome the owner of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Tuffy Schellenberger.
Today, we are announcing and going to show you the plans of the expanding our new stadium from 5,000 to 15,000. I'd like to bring the players up here to unveil the renderings of the new stadium. And you know, you have to win in Pittsburgh. I don't care what you do. We're not going to quit till we win the championship, and then we're not going to quit after that.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
And Thomas Among finds the corner. He ties it up.
Line through Cicerone. What a banger. Oh, good night.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything. Get double points this fall at Best Western.
Hartford Athletic gets to the Jägermeister Cup final.
Sacramento sweep the penalties. Sac Republic make another indomitable run to a cup final. Halftime here in Pittsburgh is brought to you by 84 Lumber. It's the Hounds 1, it's the Lights 0. A game that Vegas really needs to have to stay in the fight for playoffs in the Western Conference of the USL Championship. Again, Sean St. Jacques, Eric Dobransky here with you. We look at news and notes from around the USL Championship. Of course, the USL announcing a strategic growth investment from Bell Tower Partners. Ki Song Lee named the USL Vice Chair. And how about Danny Cruz, youngest player, since a youngest man, 35 years old, to achieve 100 victories. Still feels like he's a player at times, the way he's passionate and intense on that sideline. What an achievement.
So fun to see, and obviously what they continue to accomplish with him at the helm. I mean, you look at the Player Shield winning team last year, you wonder how they can get better. My goodness, if they top that with what seems to be another Player Shield run.
Of course, 9 USL Championship alums. U.S. national team picture. We got a wild game, by the way, going on between Loudoun and Tampa Bay. The Rowdies were 1-0 up going into stoppage time. Loudoun took a 2-1 lead. The Rowdies have come back to equalize. That game's not over yet. It's at 2-2. We'll let you know when it goes full time. CBS Sports Network, New Mexico and Lexington. That game is going to kick off soon. It's still delayed. Mike Watson, Devin Kerr will take you through that one. That's a huge game in the West. Big wins for Hartford, Monterey Bay. Great comebacks from Phoenix and Charleston yesterday. And just a bonkers couple of days in the USL Championship playoff races. not just in the East, but in the West as well. 1-0 here at Highmark. Highlights, stats, and the second half kick, all coming up after the break.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. This is an exciting day for the South Shore. Please welcome the owner of the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, Tuffy Schellenberger.
Today, we are announcing and going to show you the plans of the expanding our new stadium from 5,000 to 15,000. I'd like to bring the players up here to unveil the renderings of the new stadium. And you know, you have to win in Pittsburgh. I don't care what you do. We're not going to quit till we win the championship, and then we're not going to quit after that.
Do it all with Steel Battery. Get a free extra battery with the MSA 70 CB chainsaw set or BGA 60 blower set. Hurry into your local Steel dealer or shop online.
Halftime here at Highmark. Sean St. Jacques, Eric Dobransky, your entire crew, happy to have you.
Talk about their record when they score first. They're 10-3. They are unbeaten when they score 2 goals. So that's why I continue to harp on, can this team be ruthless with their approach here in the second half and push for that second goal?
Teams will switch sides, of course, at the start of the second half. Pittsburgh in their black and yellows will be going from right to left here at Highmark. Ken, Sean St. Jacques, Eric Dobransky, your entire crew, thrilled to have you with us tonight. And this was a game that was supposed to be played yesterday. It was postponed because the Lights were a bit late coming in with some travel issues. Good to see that this game was rescheduled for today. Both teams really need it. Pittsburgh trying to hunt down the likes of Hartford and Loudoun and North Carolina for a home playoff game in the first round. Again, the Hounds have also not clinched a playoff spot yet officially in the East as well. And then the Lights need to win this game. Cannot reiterate that enough. If they don't, they have a mountain and a half to climb if they are to get back to the playoffs. Advantages played here as Griffin was tripped up. Williams lays it off for Etu. Now Mertz gets involved. Etu was nudged off of it by O'Driscoll. O'Driscoll's checking on Etu, may have gotten hurt in the process. Referee did not blow the whistle on this play.
Ball in again from Robbie Mertz. The touch, the timing. The introduction of Junior Etu into that space. Now I've talked about the relationship and the timing and the complement of both these players on the ball in that half space. But what also opens up the door for that relationship to flourish is their off the ball work together. When you know that each other are going to cover spaces defensively in moments where Junior Etu feels free that he can join it and go into that half space, go deep into the final third, because he knows that Robbie Mertz is going to stay and sit. Bradley Sample's going to be there, Danny Griffin. That he has teammates that are going to cover for him in those moments where a team might try to go quick and play in transition.
By the way, that Loudoun-Tampa Bay game has gone final. 2-2 is the final score. What a wild roller coaster ride of stoppage time that was. In the end, a Skinner equalizer in the 99th minute allows the Rowdies to leave Leesburg with a point that just about, only just about, keeps them alive legitimately in the Eastern Conference playoff chase. It's a slight boost for Pittsburgh as well, because if they can win, they can close that gap on Loudoun towards that top 5 in the East. Rowdies looked like they were gonna win it going into stoppage time, then Loudoun took the lead in the 90+6th minute, only for the Rowdies to battle back and get a point. You see there in the live table what this would mean if Pittsburgh could win. They're within 3 points of North Carolina, within 2 points of Loudoun, just 1 point back of Brendan Burke's Hartford. As you mentioned, Coach got a big win at the home of the champs yesterday. And again, the bottom of the East, Miami likely out of it, Birmingham likely out of it. The Rowdies just about hanging around, just 5 points back at the moment. And then, of course, the standings in the West, Sac Republic, of course, are in the Jägermeister Cup final, trying to track down Tulsa. And of course, Vegas, oh my goodness, they need this so badly tonight. If they don't get it, they will be in just about dire straits going into the final few weeks of the season.
A frenetic finish in both conferences. You almost feel like an extended playoff format because every weekend means so much.
Chance here for Pittsburgh to double their lead. Oh, it's off the crossbar. Las Vegas survives. What a chance that was. Etu down the line. No foul called against Younes Boudadi, and it's a Vegas throw-in after Pittsburgh should have scored.
We've seen this commitment by Las Vegas to defend their box, but they just retreat so deep and are sitting right at the top of their 6-yard box. Leaves that space wide open.
Bradley Sample, who has scored once already this season, was not able to sneak it underneath the bar. Pressure from Williams here. Herbert forced to go all the way back to a Rosarena.
Sometimes when you play teams that are so effective in those wide areas, whether it is in channels 1 and 5, with that full width or those half spaces, you tend to anticipate and you tend to guess sometimes on the spaces that you have to occupy defensively. And sometimes you get it wrong. You retreat too deep and then you allow some space, and that late arriving run becomes so dangerous. And unfortunately, Bradley Sample unable to punish them in that moment. Already good start from Pittsburgh.
First time ball over the top. This is Mackenzie Gaines, who tried to cross that. And there's going to be a push in the back. That's a foul and a free kick for Pittsburgh. Maybe one too many nudges in the back from Nigro. And the Lights attack fizzles out. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XMFC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights, plus your live matches from the USL, MLS Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XMFC 157 and the new Sirius XM app. Speaking of Mike and Devin, the CBS Sports Network game has kicked off. So if you were waiting for that between New Mexico and Lexington, they are underway. Another big one in the Western Conference. Dennis Sanchez's sign against Terry Boss's group, who have just turned it around in such a big, big way this season. Again, that's kicked off. They're about 5 minutes in over on CBS Sports Network.
Terry Boss and Lexington side that just a little over a month ago, they were sitting outside of the playoff line and almost well below it, almost at the bottom, and now vying for a top 4 spot in the West. I mean, what a turnaround of results. And when you have a team...
Oh, Mertz in the area there. Sample reshuffles it for Edrach. Biasi chopping it back onto his left. Clipping it into the middle. It's going to fall for a chance here. All blocked by Herbert. And it goes out for a Cohen Supermarkets corner for the Hounds.
An extension of what they saw a lot of in the first 45, the ability to get to that end line and either create a service opportunity or earn themselves a corner. And I think this is an area that for Bob Lilly and his side that they probably want to feel a bit more productive with. Obviously the delivery from Robbie Mertz continues to be quality, but now being on the same page.
Rosarena did not get there, and Vactor couldn't put it in, and then the volley is skied over the top. Another close call, but Pittsburgh cannot get it over the line.
And good last-minute defending here at the end, applying pressure. Here this ball comes out. Mackenzie Gaines, I know it's the slightest of pressures, but you do force Pittsburgh to take this on the bounce, and it's rising on the bounce, so it does force that opportunity over the crossbar.
Make sure to tune in, CBS Sports Golazo Network, October 4th for the Jägermeister Cup final. 38 clubs started the competition. We're down to the final 2. Group 1 winners, Sac Republic, will take on the wild card team, Hartford Athletic. It's 10 p.m. Eastern. Their shot at Jägermeister Cup glory. It's all on Golazo on October 4th. It's going to be a heck of a final as we look at the last sequence here.
Vactor getting into the back of Johnny Rodriguez. You see Devin Rensing and his side unhappy that there was no call. Hartford, another prime example of what Lexington and Terry Boss did.
Oh yeah.
Slow start, and going back to it, when you have teams that are building familiarity, you tend to get that mid-season to late run, and those are two teams that are putting it together in both boxes at the right time.
You could argue that's a final between two of the hottest teams in the league at the moment. Hartford, of course, looking for their first piece of silverware. Sacramento won the league title in their first season back in 2014, trying to lift another cup. After, of course, they got to the Open Cup final a few years back under the tutelage of now Birmingham Legion head coach Mark Briggs. You mentioned Terry Boss has done. Brendan Burke with Hartford and Neil Collins returning with Sacramento after such a great stint with the Rowdies before going over to the UK. Two other guys who have just done a phenomenal job. This is kept in play by O'Driscoll, who crosses it into the middle. It's cushioned to the outskirts of the penalty area. Jones lost out. Might get a second try at it. Jones down this far sideline. His cross is for Nigro, knocks it down. Leal for Herbert. Younes Boudadi. This cross, did it deflect off of that too? It's not gonna matter, as Randolph is on the scene for Pittsburgh.
And good awareness by Randolph, because a lot of times where you could be casual in that moment, not fully understand that a deflection did happen higher up the field, and let that run out of play. Obviously the pressure from Las Vegas, but that's a better spell from Devin Rensing's side. I mean, you're collective, the ball is popping off your foot, it's decisive. Obviously, you didn't create anything clear-cut, but still, that's going to be something that they want to build off of and sustain here in the second half.
Boudadi, lovely little dummy there. Probo. Boudadi again. Probo forced to go all the way back to Herbert. O'Driscoll. Probo for Rodriguez. Probo tries to slither that through. Pittsburgh were able to shut the door there. Great anticipation by Williams, then goes down. And the referee had a thought over that and eventually does give Pittsburgh the free kick. Vegas thought Williams embellished the contact.
And I think even they wanted a high cleat. Yeah, that's the ball. Yeah, and then Leal catches him right there.
10 minutes. Everyone in section 104 is getting
Williams took the contact, but appears to be okay. He's back up onto his feet. Just like in the first half, we tell you to stay proud and sporty with Riverhounds gear, whether you're hitting the game or going out. Show your team spirit with exclusive merchandise. Find all your favorites at the merch booth or shop online at riverhounds.com. As the sun has just about set on the Steel City tonight. Hate to say it, but as it stands, the sun could be setting on Vegas's playoff chances if things don't change in a hurry tonight. Lovely little move from Mertz on the far side. Cross for Williams! And he could not put that on target.
It almost looked like Danny Griffin's run was a bit more, yeah, I mean, it still looked like Augie Williams was gonna be the one that had to make a play there. There was still a lot more ground for Danny Griffin to cover there. Just unable to put it on frame for Rosarena to have to come up with a save.
Cushioned header back for Randolph as we approach the hour mark. Herbert, who he ends up giving it away here. Williams, the layoff for Griffin. Griffin's cross back into the middle, dealt with by O'Driscoll. And again, Pittsburgh, oh, I was gonna say that Factor was gonna handle that, he did not. It's then clipped over the top by Probo to try to catch out Randolph. It is wide of the target.
Good pressure here, gets his head up. Randolph is well off his line, but does not get the touch he needs to put it in the back of the net and punish Randolph for being at the top of the 18. And that's what happens when you put quality pressure on a ball and you win it in midfield. You can catch that.
Augie Williams! Saved by a Rosarena, but he was in an offside position.
That's how elusive Augie Williams can be. I know that it was called offside, but it's a numbers game. I mean, you have defenders in and around Augie Williams, but the subtle shift, the subtle movement here and there. He's just able to free himself up. He does not need a lot of space to get a shot off either.
Budadi is fouled on the near side, and he's now down again, not for the first time tonight. It's a Vegas free kick.
Fans, just a reminder that after the match, players will be signing autographs on the pitch. Stick around and meet the team, presented by
Budadi on the ball, and
Pittsburgh's most confident smiles.
Ratu catches him with that left cleat there on the follow through. And we've seen better spells from Las Vegas Lights already on the ball as we are playing within that 30 minutes left of this match. Where do you start to see possible tactical adjustments to open this game up? Because there's got to be a belief that, not that a draw is not enough, because I do think that 1 point you still put enough pressure on the teams ahead of you that you're chasing that make them fully aware that they cannot slip up. Whereas in 3 points would be a loud statement in saying that. But you do have to go after a goal if you're Las Vegas Lights and Devin Rensing. So what does that look like, and at what minute and what portion of the game do you go after it?
Yeah, the problem for Vegas is really twofold. Number one, you're 6 points back in the live table of the champions Colorado Springs. In the live table, there's only 4 games left to play. Obviously, this game is not concluded yet to put it in the books, so that could change, of course. But the other problem is Oakland is ahead of you. They have a game in hand. Monterey Bay is ahead of you. You have a game in hand on them. That's the positive. Orange County's ahead of you. They have 2 games in hand on Vegas. They played the fewest games in the entire league. You're on the same number of games played after tonight as Colorado Springs. And if you're 6 points back and needing to catch 4 teams with 4 games left, that's why we're talking in the terms we're talking about, that it's a must-win for the Lights, or things can start to get away from them down the stretch here.
Not to get off topic, but how big is that comeback from Phoenix Rising last night?
Oh, massive, yes.
I mean, you're talking about teams that are chasing Colorado Springs switchbacks. Phoenix Rising was going to be in that conversation, and obviously not out of the woods just yet. But you pick up a big point last night. That is 2 points clear of Colorado Springs switchbacks, and does provide some cushion from those teams below the playoff line.
You mentioned it, Phoenix, even El Paso not out of the woods yet either, as that ball is whipped in, headed out for a Vegas throw. So tight in the West at the moment. Only Tulsa have clinched a playoff spot, by the way. No one else in the West has even clinched a playoff berth yet. Even Sacramento have a little bit of work left to do to clinch. And then, of course, they're still trying to track Tulsa down for that #1 overall seed in the Western Conference playoffs.
They're gearing up for that Jägermeister Cup final, October 4th. They host Hartford. Big match for both those teams, as we've stated. Playing for silverware, playing. Final is always on the minds of every organization, every player, every coach.
We've been told the attendance tonight at Highmark is just over 5,000. 5,011 for a rescheduled game as well. But to be fair, we're not surprised. This is kind of par for the course. It's always a great atmosphere here at Highmark, particularly at big nights like this, when the game is so intense and so needed for both teams. That's why it's one of the best big game venues we have in the USL Championship.
And a fan base and a stadium that is fully engaged in the ebbs and flows of the match. They know when they're needed. They know when they need to provide that energy that Bob Lilly's side needs. And no question that they're going to want to continue to push this team to find the second goal, but I will also say that as we see time come off the clock and maybe when you start approaching that 80th minute, pushing for that second goal becomes secondary in terms of now you're fully focused on seeing this game out and picking up the clean sheet.
Budati for Las Vegas. Gaines on the turn, is fouled, and that is going to be a free kick for the Lights.
And this is an area that Devin Rensing and his side wanted to take advantage of
This is your chance to own a
for the
piece of
Pittsburgh
Hounds
Riverhounds.
history.
They
Tonight
have
we're
conceded a
auctioning off the
few
actual game-worn
set-piece
jerseys
goals, free
from tonight's
kicks.
AEW collaboration. Now, these are the same jerseys that players wore during the
See this
warm-ups.
entry ball, the turn.
These one-of-a-kind jerseys
Now it is in an area that
again. So scan the QR code on the scoreboard
does put you in a situation where you can open yourself up and go directly on frame, test Jacob Randolph, or kind of clip it into that far corner of the 6-yard box, or kind of right when that corner meets, and cause some havoc. You have that, the first runs, and then you have the secondary runs that maybe find that far post. See what they choose to do.
It will be Gennaro Nigro who goes for goal. And in the end, Jacob Randolph, despite some decent shape on that attempt, made a comfortable catch.
Just did not have enough pace, and unfortunately, always shaping right back into Jacob Randolph.
The goal scorer for Pittsburgh, Augie Williams with the hold-up play. Biasi. We tried to slide it through for Griffin. It did not come off. Chance to release Rodriguez. And Rodriguez stumbles here. There's no foul. Rodriguez and company are asking for a foul, and then Pittsburgh are frustrated because then the assistant referee gives Vegas the throw, and they felt Pittsburgh should have had possession here.
Nobody's happy. Nope, and now Vegas gets a free kick, and that's where both teams have to make decisions. And to your point, both teams were not pleased with first the no call against Johnny Rodriguez and then the throw going in favor of Las Vegas. But there's space in between that reaction and the response, and Pittsburgh, you see this interaction with Suber and Johnny Rodriguez. But then right here, now you concede a deep free kick. Let's see the delivery. Let's see that opportunistic nature from Las Vegas Lights.
Number 17, Patrick Leal. And number 23.
Double change for Devin Rensing and the Lights here. Budati and Leal are going to make way here.
And number 9, Knight Pickering.
And Christopher Pearson and Knight Pickering are both going to come in here to try to help get the Lights back on level terms. By the way, it wouldn't be a push to the postseason if every single call wasn't argued over.
Yeah.
Particularly at this juncture of the match. And then the free kick is a little bit wasteful there from Nigro, but the Lights catch a break, and that is headed out for a Vegas corner. So Nigro gets a second try here, brought to you by Cohen Supermarkets. 20 minutes plus stoppage time left at Highmark. Nigro's ball whipped in is wasteful again. And the Lights cannot afford to waste those set-piece opportunities. Very uncharacteristic, I might add, from Gennaro Nigro, who's normally very good from those positions.
And you've let the Pittsburgh Riverhounds off the hook, and no question that there's going to be a discussion amongst the players for the Riverhounds that, all right, we've gotten a few passes here. Let's start calming down. Let's start not conceding some of these defensive free kicks, not putting ourselves in a position where we're already trying to see out a 1-0 advantage, and then putting unneeded pressure on yourself, having to defend those, and now Augie Williams earns one for the Riverhounds.
Substitutions for the Riverhounds. Bring them out.
Double change for Bob Lilly and the Pittsburgh Riverhounds. It's going to be the end of the night for Charles All and for Robbie Mertz. We're both going to make way here. You can't see him, but Robbie Mertz had his hands on his head. He cannot believe that he's being taken out here. He wants to, of course, play every minute. Bertrand Jacqueson and the hero from Hartford, Chase Boone, scored his first goal in over a year to help the Hounds beat Hartford. Last time out, the former Monterey Bay star is going to come in and try to help get Pittsburgh over the line. There he is, Chase Boone. From Seaside to the Steel City. And, well, Bob Lilly's always coaching, isn't he? Gives Charles All a couple of words as he exits tonight. "18 minutes plus stoppage time. Sample to deliver the free kick. At the back stick, oh, Boone got a touch to keep that in, and there was a chance on the follow-up. In the end, the Lights get the call here. It's a free kick. Nearly an instant impact from Chase Boone. Did well just to keep that in.
And then off the ball, this is where that defensive identity continues to play a major factor for Pittsburgh Riverhounds, because now where you're going to see the pace and the tempo take an uptick for Las Vegas Lights, your natural identity and your instinct is to get into defensive position as quickly as possible. This is a side that puts so much stock and value in being in positional play early. You're not wanting to be responsive. You want to make sure you're there early to make the play, as we see the earned penalty and then the converted penalty by Augie Williams. Mentioned in the open, from his 7 goals coming into tonight, 2 of those were match opening goals. Now 3 of his 8 are match opening goals, which is an area for Pittsburgh Riverhounds. They score first. We've talked about it. They are difficult to beat.
Those highlights are brought to you by 84 Lumber. As Gartig did commit a foul there for the Lights, so it is a Pittsburgh free kick after more strong work from Augie Williams, and really those two have been battling it out all night. It'll be Jacqueson to take it. It does have a league goal this season for the Hounds. On this particular occasion, he's looking to pick somebody out. He just fizzed it in there. In the end, no Pittsburgh player could redirect it before Arozarena made the catch. Rodriguez up ahead. And then Rodriguez is dispossessed by Griffin. He thought he was fouled. Referee waves any appeals away. And then Griffin plays a wonderful ball down the line. The cross for Williams is cut out by Herbert. Still work to do for Gartig. There was a foul called as Gartig cleared it. It's a Vegas free kick. Riverhounds fans join the Pittsburgh Riverhounds for their next home game, Saturday, October 11th. Indy 11's in town. That's a massive game. Enjoy a post-game fireworks show as well. Get your tickets today at riverhounds.com.
As we take on Miami FC on Saturday, October 4th. You can catch the match on KDK.
Touched on it a few moments ago when mentioned the over 5,000 fans here tonight for a rescheduled match. And it just continues to highlight the importance for this team and their push for a top 4 finish. When you can bring a first-round playoff game here to Highmark, I mean, that is massive for this club, and they know exactly what it means to the fan base and the push that it gives them on the field.
A little bit of a frustrated look there from Devin Rensing as Vegas played backwards for a moment there. That header is flicked on. Vactor tried to shield it, but then felt the footsteps of Rodriguez. Clears it out for a Lights throw.
Unfortunately for Devin Rensing's side, they just have not been able to create anything sustainable. But a lot of credit to Bob Lilly and his side, their disruptive nature, their ability to be compact. A lot of teams talk about playing around Pittsburgh Riverhounds, not through them. It's easier said than done.
From the throw-in, was headed high into the air. Not the best of clearances here. When then Gartig bumps into Randolph, and again, that bails Pittsburgh out. That is a free kick.
Fans, you can stay after the match tonight for an unforgettable fiesta. Join us on the
Choosing his positioning, Jacob Randolph being strong in there, and you see the contact.
Energy and passion as you perform your favorite songs, backed up by the best karaoke band in the business, Lead Singer Wanted. Scan the QR code on the screen to sign up.
There's another moment where Pittsburgh nearly made a bit of a mess of that at the back, and the lights bailed them out. Great work there by Williams, but he cannot pick out a teammate. And then Boone's touch was a bit loose. That's played in behind. Johnny Rodriguez for the Lights is beaten to it by Vactor, who does so well to recover. If he hadn't, Rodriguez would have been in one-on-one. Devin Rensing would have drawn it up in his dreams for Rodriguez to be in one-on-one, and a chance like that. But Vactor does well to save Pittsburgh in that moment, and the Hounds get a free kick on the back end.
Is Tupelo Honey, our neighbors in Station Square. Tupelo Honey is known for their superior
Dream for Devin Rensing and a nightmare for so many opponents.
They serve scratch-made and responsibly.
But again, met with quality defensive play. I mean, winning duels and impacting defensive duels is something that this team is predicated off of, and have built themselves into such a difficult team to beat, even in some of those bigger moments.
eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team. Play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play, so download now. Herbert. Pearson. Rodriguez. It's knocked out of play.
We've got two substitutions for the Hounds.
Two changes coming up here for Pittsburgh. Ilal Osumanu, who's dealt with some injuries this season, is going to come in. That'll be it for Junior Etu. And then Jackson Walty, who's had a wonderful season. Bob Lilly has been really happy with his progress. He will come in for Bradley Sample, whose night ends in the 80th minute. And the Hounds are left with just one change left.
Two players that are working themselves back from injury, continuing to build up those minutes. Come playoff time, put yourself in a situation where you have the full allotment of availability, and to make those choices that best affect the game in the opponent that you play and you match up with.
That could have fallen in behind for Rodriguez. It still might. It's Probo! Just slipping it through. And Jacob Randolph, who didn't know where that was going to end up, dives down to his right to make the stop.
Good involvement here in the final third, and something that we've been looking for is Probo in those areas, right outside the box, hunting for a goal.
That's a high boot against Augie Williams. It's a free kick for Vegas. Look up at the clock, starting to run out of time here. 9 minutes plus stoppages.
And I know this is going to be obvious because he has the goal on the night, but the work that Augie Williams has put in on and off the ball has been highly influential. I mean, in the first half, we saw a down press, we saw some defensive plays that he kind of came from that higher area and just shot down into midfield to slow down Las Vegas from earning any sort of counterattacking moment. He's occupied Las Vegas very well. See this deflected shot.
Riverhounds fans, it's time for another.
That deflected out. It's going to be a Hounds corner brought to you by Cohen Supermarkets on the far side.
Now with Robbie Mertz off, Danny Griffin goes off to take this, and obviously in no rush.
And the goal from Augie Williams back in the 30th minute from the penalty spot as Pittsburgh ahead. Potentially Las Vegas. Not quite down and out yet. It's been that kind of year. Everyone's still mathematically alive, but it puts Las Vegas in a really, really difficult spot for the playoffs. That's flicked on, and it's touched over the top. Vactor at the back stick. It's another missed opportunity for the Hounds to potentially put the game to bed.
Yeah, first contact there, and then put it in a new position. Vactor just unable to take the slightest of touches and put it on goal. Traveled all the way through that 6-yard box. Good run, though.
Williams frustrated as the Boone feed in behind had too much on it. O'Driscoll for Gartig. Nate Jones. Played it over the top looking for Knight Pickering, who lost out on the header. Cleared out only as far as O'Driscoll. Herbert for Gartig. Jones down the line. Now Williams for Pittsburgh. Tried to play in Jacqueson. Good sliding challenge by Probo. He pokes it forward. Rodriguez gets there first for Las Vegas. Rodriguez holds up the play, the layoff from O'Driscoll. Pearson a little nudge forward. Jones for Nigro. Nigro's cross is headed away by Suber and cleared upfield by Chase Boone, but to no one in particular. Gartig resets. Pearson surveys. Miscued after this near side gain slipped as he tried to keep it in play and lost it. Jacqueson wins Pittsburgh a throw on this near side. We should mention as well, now that we're in the 85th minute, that Gennaro Nigro has now played 66 minutes tonight. He's now become the all-time minutes played leader in Las Vegas Lights history, so big congratulations to him for that. He will not be worried about that at the moment, of course, but
an incredible
we should mention it.
After the fact. I mean, some of the numbers that he has put up with this organization have been tremendous, and the performance speak for themselves.
Probo in behind here for the Lights. Biasi tries to track him down, and Probo waited too long to make up his mind, and the cross is easily corralled by Randolph. Yet another missed opportunity for the Lights.
I just think that is a play where you've got to take the initiative. Obviously, you're sitting in that space, opportunistic for that ball to pop over the top.
Up the other end, Pittsburgh with a chance. Williams down on a knee as he could not find the target, and that will be his last act of the night. Brigham Larson, he's gonna take his place, and after very much a job well done indeed for Augie Williams, the goal scorer for Pittsburgh will make way.
Take another look at what sits right now as the game winner. Penalty in the first half. Decisive approach and strike from Augie Williams. Now he gets his conversation with Bob Lilly.
I'm sure he'll tell Bob later that he is the man of the match tonight, brought to you by Cohen Supermarkets, but of course that won't stop Bob for laying on more words of wisdom, even for the great Augie Williams. One of the best goal scorers the USL Championship has seen. He's now second, by the way, all time in regular season goals. Free kick here, meanwhile, for the Lights. Probo lifts it in. Can Pittsburgh get their heads on it first? Jacquesin tries to lead the Hounds up the other end. Still 3 minutes in stoppages to negotiate. Larson is through the middle. That's who he aims for! Oh, and it's touched over the top by Herbert, who did just about enough. And it's another Cohen corner for Pittsburgh.
And he had to take this touch. Good drive here by Jacquesin. Good awareness. You think for almost a moment that he's just going to continue to drive to that corner and see some time off the clock. But that was far from it. Saw that space open up, saw the runner. Still sees his team earn a corner where you could see valuable time come off the clock. And this Pittsburgh Riverhounds side is unbeaten when leading with 5 minutes remaining and less. So not a team that concede a lot of late goals.
Griffin from the corner goes over everybody's head. Driscoll is fouled by Larson. Free kick Vegas.
But also, this is the part of the year where you're going to see a lot of teams play with desperation, and that's what you're going to see from Las Vegas Lights. So I bring up the unbeaten numbers for the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, but you're going to continue to get new look after new look from everybody you play from here on out, and that includes what you're going to see for the rest of this match from Las Vegas Lights and Devin Rensing's side. They are going to throw everything they can, because for them, losing 2-0 is the same thing as losing 1-0. You leave with 0 points, so you've got to push for the equalizer with whatever's remaining and whatever's added on here at the end.
On the turn, again, Pittsburgh trying to move this forward with Larson. He loses out. Great job by Griffin to win that back. By the way, those keeping track of the Western Conference at the moment, CBS Sports Network, New Mexico, and Lexington still early stages in the first half. But New Mexico are already 2-0 up on Lexington, just 11 minutes into the game. So if you got 2 screens or if you're getting ready to switch over, that's the score line at the moment in Albuquerque. Ooh, that was flicked on by Jacquesin. Pittsburgh can keep moving it forward. Jacquesin! Hit it right down the heart of the goal. Easy save in the end from Arozarena. And we are into 4 added minutes of play left here at Highmark.
That's an extra 4 minutes to make some noise.
O'Driscoll plays it back out to the far side. Provo's been more and more active as this second half's moved along. Plays it out to the far side for Nigro. Probo into the penalty area. It is over the head of Mackenzie Gaines, and that's going to roll out for a Hounds goal kick. That'll do just fine for Pittsburgh.
And some of the frustrating portion of this match for Las Vegas Lights is going to be towards the end. You like the numbers that they're getting in the attacking half of the field, but it just lacks a bit of movement, a bit of fluidity, a bit of cohesion in terms of what each other want. It's very stagnant, and when it's stagnant, yes, you can have the numbers in that area, but if you're not moving defenders and you're not vacating spaces, and it makes it very difficult to create anything not only sustainable, but dangerous.
This is Vactor for Pittsburgh. Through for Larson, who can finish it off. Oh, and Arozarena makes the save. What a stop by Raiko Arozarena. He's had that good of a year, to be fair, in goal for the Lights. Makes another big stop.
Good drive there by Vactor. Oh, and it's that second touch by Arozarena that puts this out of danger. Larson has the time to pick his corner. He's just unable to find that far side netting. Clutch intervention there at the end from Arozarena.
Cohen corners taken short. And then the shot in the end is a bit wasteful from Beto Idrach. Arozarena has it back for Vegas with just under 2 minutes left. And that is going to be a foul against Johnny Rodriguez, which allows Pittsburgh to reset. Again, if this holds, Vegas stays in last place in the West, 6 points adrift of the final playoff spot. Pittsburgh would be in 6th in the East. They would be 6 points clear of the drop, which would be out of the playoffs, and they're only 2 points out of 4th place, currently occupied by Loudoun on 39 points for a home playoff spot. And of course, both teams still have 4 games left. Here is Rodriguez, he's in behind! Oh, and it's just wide! That was Vegas's chance.
Oh, and one that Johnny Rodriguez is going to want to back. Operating in between the 2 center backs. Times it so well. But again, credit to Jacob Randolph for being off his line, making himself big, forcing Johnny Rodriguez into an earlier touch than expected.
Oh, that felt like the moment for Vegas to steal a point. Pittsburgh looks like still some seconds left. Like that might be the moment that sees them hold on. Another brief look at the live table. 4 minutes are up. The game is up here at Highmark. Pittsburgh holds on and beats Vegas by 1-0. Augie Williams is the match winner. Pittsburgh still right there in the race for top 4 in the Eastern Conference. It could be the result that sees Las Vegas fade in the playoff chase in the West. The Lights had their chances, maybe not enough of them, but they certainly had opportunities tonight. But that stingy Bob Lilly-led defense sees Pittsburgh hold on and win for the 7th time at Highmark this season in the regular season.
Yeah, what we've become accustomed to seeing from the Pittsburgh Riverhounds, you give this team a goal, they will punish you. They'll already make it difficult for you to break them down. But when they're playing with a lead, they lock in and lock you out from creating anything in their defensive third, and they did just that tonight, powering through that first half goal and carrying that all the way to 3 points.
There'll be things to take away in a positive way from Vegas tonight, but they need wins, they need points, and they're 6 points back with 4 games to play. Pittsburgh close in, potentially clinching a playoff berth, and they're just in the mix for top 4. Smoothie King, save of the game. This is a massive moment. Jacob Randolph making sure that Vegas didn't sneak it past.
Yeah, traveling through traffic, locating this ball, but on top of not only making the save, but making sure he doesn't spill that save and give Las Vegas Lights any secondary opportunity. Johnny Rodriguez was lurking in that space.
Full time here at Highmark. Pittsburgh hangs on for all 3 points, and Las Vegas's playoff hopes may have just taken a fatal blow here at Highmark. We'll come back after the break and wrap it all up next.
Hi, this is Anthony with Sell Pittsburgh Now. We're buying as-is houses for cash all across the Pittsburgh area. We make it quick and easy to sell your unwanted house. We buy houses as is with no repairs. Whether it needs a ton of work or is in good shape, we buy them all and pay cash fast whenever you need it. You don't need to fix up a thing or even clean up. And best of all, no fees or closing costs. We're Sell Pittsburgh Now, and we want to make you a fair cash offer. Call 412-385-0000.
Sean St. Jacques, Eric Dobransky back here with you. It's full time in the USL Championship. Pittsburgh beats Las Vegas by 1-0. Augie Williams, once again, a match.
Got to imagine that finds the back of the net.
Highlights are brought to you by Corona. Vegas, again, miss out on a huge opportunity to pick up points. Pittsburgh don't miss out on the chance. They're 6 points clear, in 6th position, comfortably in a playoff spot with 4 games to play. They're going to try to track down Hartford, Loudoun, and North Carolina. They're just 2 points out of a potential home playoff game. Las Vegas's playoff hopes take a potentially fatal blow here. Back 6 points with 4 to play. They have to catch 4 teams, and 2 of them have games in hand on them down the stretch. That may very well be that for Vegas's chances of making the postseason. They'll probably have to win out to have any hope down the stretch. The agony of defeat and the glory of victory down the stretch in the USL Championship playoff push. Pittsburgh hold on to beat Vegas. And for Eric Dobransky and our entire crew, Sean St. Jacques saying so long from Highmark. Augie Williams is a match winner, and Pittsburgh take all 3 points at Highmark tonight.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.